Broken and Pete's, life is one big party.
You ready for the time of your life?
But when you're voted off this island, you're gone for good. From the warped minds who brought you Super Troopers. Oh, yeah! Broken Lizard's Club Dread, rated R, starts tomorrow, everywhere.
The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You will suffer an eternity for this.
I don't know, Kevin. That could be the absolute wrong movie or wrong song to play for 2004's Broken Lizards Club Dread comedy horror slasher movie parody that came out that year. As we kick off Slasher September month, everybody, thank you for joining us on 0-Point Reviews. Now, before we get started, Kevin, and I know you want to say something right there. Do you have a beer or are you going to need one for this review?
I'm going to need one for this review. I did not bring one with me. I didn't have one, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I got my health water with me, and that's going to be nice.
Well, that would be appropriate.
But Fun Place is not going to get me tonight. No.
No, you are holding the appropriate pipe from the picture behind you. So that is awesome to see that you found where it was tucked and nipped. And now you're going to put it in your mouth. And demonetized in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure you hit that like button, everybody. Subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification so you can stay tuned to all of our video content. I'm going to get that out of the way because it may not last for much longer.
Did not think about that before. Thank you.
Of course you didn't think about that. You don't think at all. That's why you're my co-host.
There's a good amount of truth to that. Say first, think never.
Shoot first, think never.
Same thing.
Well,
with a microphone, it's the same thing.
That's true. As long as it's close to your mouth and big and black, you might be okay.
Yeah, I'm used to
Just
it.
saying. We know how you roll at the glory hole, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, do you, like we do with all of our shows, what is your first memory of Club Dread?
Shit. Okay.
And if you want to lump in Broken Lizard overall, that's totally cool too. We don't know when we're going to get to some of the other Broken Lizard movies.
So Broken Lizard, I'm pretty sure I discovered Super Troopers first. More than likely 2003, 2004. And
right
God,
now.
Yeah. And, you know, it was probably the most perfect movie I'd ever seen at that point as far as being funny. Like it, for being as fresh as it was and new, like it was just hard-hitting comedy. It was really good. It was super smart. Every joke was a winner. And then Club Dread came out later on, and I didn't see it marketed anywhere. I think I just happened across the DVD here up in Oregon at a used store. And I said, all right, shit, okay, let's check this out. And I picked it up, not knowing, because, you know, that's when you could do that, when you could spend money on physical media on movies you didn't know anything about.
Physical media, baby.
Yeah, and I don't know the first time around that I watched this that I liked it as much as Super Troopers. And I almost wish I had not seen Super Troopers before seeing this, so I could have given it like a really fair shake, because I went into this with the expectation that these were similar characters, if not the same, supposed to be same characters as in Super Troopers. But no, of course, it's a whole new cast. I was learning at this point that this was a troupe, just like Monty Python or
National
Kids in the
Lampoon.
Hall. Yes, well,
yes and no.
Yeah. a long time ago, National Lampoon was, yeah. But anyhow, but I fell in love with these guys at this point. Like at this point, these two movies, and then of course, eventually Beer Fest came out.
Yeah, maybe.
So in love with these fellas, and I will watch anything that they do. I have all of their movies. I've not actually watched all of Tacoma FD. In fact, I've never seen a single episode of it, but
I've not seen that one either.
It's really funny. I've listened to almost the entire series because my wife will sit next to me with her tablet while I'm playing video games and she'll watch it. And it's goddamn funny. I love listening to Heffernan and Lemley. They're just the best. It's like listening to Frank and Trace in a TV series, and you're just like, oh man, that's so comforting. I love it.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. I actually fell in about 2000, I think it was 1 or 2002 when Super Troopers came out.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard about it at the theaters. I eventually saw that on DVD. And then after that, I became a fan. Of course, Club Dread was next after that. And then I think they went into Beer Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is where I kind of fell off for a little while. I know Slammin' Salmon came out. Never watched that one. Super Troopers 2 came out. That was disappointing. And that's when I'm like completely fell off. Like after Super Troopers 2, and I backed the Kickstarter, I was just like, I felt like I got my money's worth, at least from like the Kickstarter and the actual product they put out, but it felt like something was really kind of missing from that. And it also felt like it was about maybe 10 years too late for Super Troopers 2. So I know they're working on a new one, so hopefully it's a return to form.
It looks like it so far. They've been posting videos every day. And we talked a little bit about it on Deadwire Live. Sure.
Correct.
Where
Saturday nights, everybody.
They're giving updates on, like we said it. We made the announcement on day one. Oh, they're gonna start production soon on a new Super Troopers. The very next day, they said, "Oh, here's videos from day one." And we went, "Golly, that's sudden! Yay!" I don't know who's behind this, who the production team is, if it's Fox, if it's Searchlight, well, not Fox, Disney, 20th Productions.
It's considered it's under the umbrella of Disney, but they are operating as like they used to. I don't know if they have the same personnel or not, though, but the fact that they're doing this is kind of telling that they might be looking at trying to reinvigorate any possible franchises they used to have. I'd rather they work on Weedfest personally.
Well,
or
in that
a sequel to Club Dread, or give us a proper Blu-ray. That now, FYI, everybody, this is not a Blu-ray. This is a custom case that holds my DVD because it never came out on Blu-ray.
Lame.
Not on 4K. Can't freaking find it anywhere. Can only find the DVD. Or you can find the stream available somewhere online. I know you can rent it from a few different places, but I made a case so that I could replace it eventually. And it's a flipper, dude. One side is the full screen. The other side has the widescreen.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those old school ones from 20th Century Fox.
I love that. I did love that because it used to be they would put out a full screen edition of a movie. They'd put out a widescreen edition of a movie. And you're like, so what? What's the difference? I'll tell you what the fucking difference is. I only have the full screen edition of Scooby-Doo. I don't like the full screen edition of Scooby-Doo. I want the widescreen edition of Scooby-Doo because it's a dope fucking movie and I want to see the whole thing.
And boy, was that a thing back in the day. Letterbox and widescreen versus 4:3 pan and scan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how was it framed? How was it edited for television? Well, back in the good old days, we used to have what they called square televisions, not the rectangles you have seen for like the last 25 years, everybody. And that's what pan and scan was. It adapted the film to a square and it filled up the entire screen. The actual full original scope from the movie is widescreen. So you actually saw what you saw in the theaters and didn't lose any information.
Yep. However, I don't know how that's going to be when Fantastic Four comes out, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah, so Club Dread. My first experience was I actually saw this bad boy in the theaters. And I was a day one guy, and I thought it was hilarious. Then when it came out on, I think this is the original DVD. So I'm pretty sure, like, when this came out at that time, I bought this DVD and I watched the hell out of it. And I do believe there are deleted scenes on this. I think it's on the full screen side, though. And, but the widescreen actually is the full unrated cut. So you get the full hour and 48 minutes of this bad boy movie.
Put on the titties.
There was a whole lot of boobage and a whole lot of naked dude butts too.
There was.
So Kevin was super happy about watching this movie for cheeky reasons.
Cheeky reasons.
But, you know, my experience in the theater was everybody enjoyed the hell out of it. This was at a time when, like, the sex comedies were raging supreme. You had American Pie, you had Club Dread, you had, like, Blue Mountain State on television on Spike TV. You had a whole slew of things that were going around, and it was part of the culture at that point. And I think this excelled where a lot of slasher movies failed at that time, actually. Yeah. And it was a fun experience in the theater. I am proud to own this. I just wish it was a proper Blu-ray. So I doubt Disney's ever going to get off their ass and do it. So if there's a bootlegger out there, you let us know.
Right? Thank you. And please.
And please.
I'd be down. Totally down. Because again, these guys are my favorite. I love them every single bit as much as I love Monty Python. I don't know if people are going to say that's sacrilege, but they get comedy every bit as much as Monty Python. They get changing characters, and no one's the leader of a group in any way, shape, or form. Like, they're all just really good at writing comedy and working together, and they all know what's funny and what clicks, and they all know what each other can do. That's the fucking cool part about it. Like, they know how to bounce off each other really, really well.
Oh, yes, they do. Like, I like how that whole aspect of you're familiar with all of these actors from the previous movies and like Beer Fest, and then you go and watch this one like after the fact. You're like, okay, I didn't know that this guy could actually do some sort of charm to him, and I didn't know this guy could actually be the surprisingly French asshole, so to speak, or this, that, and the other. Like, it's such a nice range for all of them that they get to show their talents in different ways in every movie. And that's something I really appreciate out of this movie. Now, did you have slides, Kevin?
Did I? I did. Oh, shit. That's
I was
right.
going to just go ahead and pull up the good, the bad, and the judgment.
Bang!
There we go, baby. Yeah.
So what's the good about this movie?
Penelope.
She is the gymnast. I love everything about this movie. This entire cast is awesome.
Yes, they are.
They were lightning in a bottle. At first, I was a little like, where's Ursula? Like, she's missing from this picture. But again, I didn't realize at first who the core cast was of not Club Dread, fucking Broken Lizard. But once I started getting used to it and I started reading about them, because I knew I liked both of these movies at this point, and I started reading about them, like, oh, okay, now I get this. Now I want to watch more. But I started really appreciating the other actors that were in the other movies. The side characters, is that a respectful term? I don't.
You mean the ensemble cast?
Yeah, the rest.
You mean
of the
like
cast,
the cameo sort of like people?
The rest of the cast that wasn't actually a part of Broken Lizard, like Brian Cox.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It was like Brian Cox and Super Troopers, and like Bill Paxton in Club Dread, and
yes,
and then Willie Nelson in like Beer Fest at the very end.
Right.
Well, and like the main villain from Beverly Hills Cop 2 is in Beer Fest too. He plays the dad of the Germans.
That's right. That's right.
That was fantastic. I recognized him right away. I'm like, No shit. That's pretty rad.
I love the Germans whining to their grandpapa. I'm like, oh my god.
Grandpapa, das Boot. Dude, if we
Movie
get
was
started on Beer Fest, I ain't gonna shut up because I love that movie too.
Well, that is another one of the really good things about Broken Lizard is all of their movies are extremely quotable. These
And replayable.
Yes, these are college drinking movies. These are college smoking movies that don't get old. Here I
drink
am,
like I used to.
20 years later, still watching these movies, and I don't have to fucking get tore up to watch them. I just happen to be tore
It
up
would
when I
help.
watch them. Meh. But anyway, no, I mean these are really good comfort films
Yes,
that
they are.
always make me laugh in the same respect that, say, Blazing Saddles does, or Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail. I hold it up there with them.
I agree. Like between Super Troopers, Club Dread, and the original Beer Fest, like those are my three jams. I call that kind of like the unholy trinity of Broken Lizard of what really brought them to the dance. And I can watch any of them on replay at any given time and be like, I know that scene. I know that scene. I don't know if I hold this record, but I watched Beer Fest 7 times in a row one weekend.
Nice.
Mostly in the background for like 5 times, but 2 times in a row. I'm like, this is the funniest freaking movie. I would have it on while I was doing like other stuff. So it wasn't like I specifically sat and watched it 7 times in a row, but I did watch the movie 7 times in a row. It kept auto playing, and I'm like, I'll just leave it on.
I'd have shit else better to do, like, or nothing else better to do either. Like, I like this movie.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is funny as hell.
Oh my God. They got some original songs on this that are like spoofs on freaking Wasting Away in Margaritaville.
I believe you mean Pina Colada Berg.
Yep. That cracked me up. That's why I included that at the end of our like intro at the beginning of this. I'm like, that whole sequence was just like the whole shot of that motherfucker. He robbed me blind. I wrote this song like 7.5 years before I even thought of Margaritaville.
I'm sorry, young lady. I think you mean my song Pina Colada Berg. Like I can't even say it without laughing, but his voice is just so gruff, and then all of a sudden drunk and angry and hurt all at the same time.
It's like the second he gets serious, it's like, oh no, this is bad.
And then his assistant, God help me, I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah.
I love him to pieces as an actor. He passed away a few years ago, I think, but
not the nephew, but like his security guy, right?
Yes, yeah. He was also in The New Guy and was fucking amazing in that. But yeah, he is just absolutely wonderful in this too.
MC Gainey as Hank.
Yes, thank you. He was wonderful in this.
So was Lindsay Price as you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like you said, everybody was a smoke show, and I don't want to get objectifiable or misogynistic or anything, but
screw that. They were all smoking hot in this movie. Brittany, like Lindsay, all of them, Tanya, like all of the women in general are just stunning. And them running around in bikinis half the movie was like, that's part of the joke with this movie, actually. It's like, it's a slasher movie. They're running around in underwear. They're running around in bikinis. Oh, hey, you're on a tropical island. You're most likely going to be in a bikini the whole time. And that doesn't hurt either.
Until you're in the woods or in the jungle. Putman. I don't know. They did.
We even get a Stargate cameo in this, by the way, if you didn't know.
No, I did not. Who did we get?
Tony Amendola as one of the mainland detectives.
Oh, Oh,
Master Braytac for you Stargate fans out there that watch our shows every Thursday. Show mode.
hit it.
Yeah, baby.
Thursday at 8:15 p.m.
Pacific time.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
See, I remember stuff.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Some stuff.
Clearly, you're not smoking enough weed anymore, Kevin.
Sorry.
Well, you might want to hop on the train because we do got to talk about some other things with this movie. Like, do you have any favorite kills?
Oh, gosh.
Did the pear slicing work for you, or was it more of the throwing of the machete for poor little Jay later on? As Putman Livingston, former British tennis player star. I worked with Andre Agassi, that whiny bitch.
Whiny bitch. God, he was so
that cracked me up.
Jay's just the funniest fucking person, I swear to God.
Dude, him at Beer Fest is even better. They go up to him with the car and he's playing like this male hooker, and it's like, if you have to ask what it means, you can't afford it. And I am not saying what that full line is. When we cover that movie, we will discuss that.
Dear God.
I'm gonna screw you up the 0 point. Welcome
And that
to
is
0 Point Reviews, everybody. We go off on tangents.
So you still need to see Puddle Cruiser, and you need to see Slammin' Salmon.
Yep.
Slammin' Salmon is hysterical. I know everybody likes Waiting, everybody likes Office Space, but Slammin' Salmon is just fucking amazingly. It's funny. It punches hard, and I mean that with a pun. It punches hard.
Is that the restaurant one?
Yep.
Okay, I never saw it, but I vaguely remember that one. I think Hefferman directed that one, if I'm not mistaken.
I could believe it.
Let me look at it.
He's the main character in that one, more or less, like to me, but he's also the main character in this one too.
Yes, he directed that one.
Very awesome.
Oh, and it had Michael Clark Duncan in it? Oh, okay, damn. Oh, and Olivia Munn too. Oh, that's interesting.
Michael Clark Duncan's got the best line in any movie in that picture.
Colby Smulders is in that one? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Oh, she gets fucked up too, I think.
All right.
It's really funny. Like I don't know if
I'm a fan of Colby, so that works for me. Oh, Vivica A. Fox is in it too. Oh, that's even funnier. Lance Henriksen? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this one out.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything, but yeah, I know who those people are in the movie, and it's like I'm getting flashes and laughing every time you talk about one of them. It's like, yes, they're in it, they're awesome. Yes, they're in it, they're awesome. Yes, they're in it, they're awesome. Heffernan made a great picture, and the fact that it's not as loved as Super Troopers or this, it's kind of really of a shame because it's worth the love.
Oh man, I got some bad reviews though, but I don't usually doesn't sway me. I'll still see a movie if I'm interested.
This got a low rating. This got a what? 5.3.
Yeah, this was like kind of middle of the road, and I know it did not make its budget back at the box office.
Yeah, and I'm sure half of the budget went to Coconut Pete himself, but totally.
Well, it was a Fox Searchlight picture. That's usually considered the indie studio of Fox, so it did not have the best marketing budget. You had to kind of look for this one, or rely on, like, say, Fangoria and some of the other like sci-fi horror magazines. And at that time, I think they were less inclined to look at movies like this because they were way too comedic.
See,
at least that was my opinion at that time, and they should not have taken that view.
No, because this was more horror than Scary Movie was. Scary Movie was much more slapstick,
Yes.
a lot less gore, a lot less nudity. This
More
this
nudity.
is yeah, this was a pretty good horror film, in spite of it being a comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it talks about wieners getting cut off and all sorts of things.
Well, there's a whole lot of unintentional comedy too. Whether that was scripted that way or not is beside the point. The fact that half the time you're just cracking up for like one reason or another, like not all the jokes are going to land. Not all of the innuendos are going to land. But at the same time, you have other things that will just kind of work for you for whatever reason or another, depending on like how you view your sense of humor. And that's the charm of Broken Lizard. They got something in here for just about everybody you can latch on to. There's a certain art to doing something like that where you make a comedic picture, it's one tone or another. This one carries about 7 different tones, and while that sounds like it's a mess, they pull it off and they execute it exceptionally well. And if you want to see this for the horror movie that it is, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty good. If you want to watch it for the comedy, it's pretty damn good too. Just really depends on what you're expecting out of this movie. Expect this to be a horror comedy and expect this to be a little bit on the gory side because it does not shy from that. It also doesn't shy from having nudity in it either. And I don't know, there's just something about this movie I absolutely adore, from the cast to the writing to the humor. The directing and the editing are exceptional. I do have some complaints when we get to the bad though. But that being said, did you like the reveal of who the bad guy was at the very end of the movie, Kevin? Was that a good thing or was that a bad thing?
I liked it. I liked the way Sam opened his eyes in the mud.
The unpolice everybody if you are wanting a spoiler alert all the way on the right.
I love Eric as an actor. He's friggin' awesome. But just the way he opened his eyes, just really crazy, like in the mud, and his eyes were super wide and white up against the dark mud. It looked really cool. It was a fun,
coming like
reveal.
freaking Jason and Michael Myers. That was even better.
Yes, to an eventual comedic degree.
Yep.
Which we'll get to eventually, and it's pretty great. But going back to what you'd asked first with my favorite kill, I think I'm going to have to say it's going to be Dave's, the nephew, the DJ that gets his head cut off and placed on the fucking turntable. Like the cheapest trick, cheapest gag, but it looked super duper cool.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job on that.
Yeah. Like just stick him on a rotating table, put something over his neck and make it rotate around his neck and make it look like he's,
You
totally
spin
awesome.
me right round, baby, right round.
No more. We're going to get demonetized.
Hey,
Or
we
dinged
did 3
for
seconds or
copyright.
less.
Well, that's right.
It's fine. It's fine. My favorite was probably, I hate to say it, but Putman's, where he got thrown a machete at him, and then off screen while they're hiding in the bathroom, you hear him, "I knew it was you," or "I never knew it was you. Of course it was you." And then they're like, "Well, who is it? Who is it?" And you just hear him getting hacked up, and it's like, that's freaking dope, dude.
He could have said it was him, but no.
Of course it was you. I should have known it was you. Well, who is it?
Putman was so great in the sense that, like, he was only freaked out by that nightmare because Heffernan woke him up from the nightmare of making out with himself. That was no longer a nightmare at that point.
Yeah.
It was so gross.
Oh man, and boy did he have like a hard on for Jenny. Oh my god, his character.
Oh, but
and when
his
you find out
comeback-
she slept with basically everybody, he's like, "Really? But me? What the fuck, Jenny?
My God.
Who didn't you sleep with? You, of course."
Carlos?
Even Carlos? You slept with Juan? She slept with everybody
except for him. And then
except
she
for
doesn't
him.
even give him a hug when they're going to go out hiking or like exploring. She just gives him a handshake.
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you. Yep.
Didn't even want to do that. You're weird.
Of course, she ends up with the feng shui guy who's like, "I'm gonna get kicked out of the pacifists club. Well, at least they'll do it nicely."
At least that was a funny pun. Like that was a dad joke. It worked. It worked. But in that respect, I also love how Heffernan switched from the last movie being the most notorious fucking prick
Yep.
on the silver screen to being an absolute pacifist and like guru.
And a masseur who could touch you on your lip and make you go, ooh.
And on the nose.
My God, at the very end when he was being held hostage and he's like, I can only make him orgasm for like 2 more minutes. Get out of here. And everybody's just dragging their ass to leave. It's like, hey, get the fuck out, everybody. That was so funny.
Machete Sam's got his eyes
The
are
whole
rolling.
face was going strong, baby.
I can only hold it for like 2 more minutes.
And as dudes, even we understand 2 minutes is a very long time for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be a sign you might need to see your doctor, actually.
My toe is cramping.
Well, there goes that quad. Oh.
My hammy.
Oh my God, this movie just cracks me up. Oh.
Yeah. This is truly a classic. It's I want to say it's probably one of their more overlooked,
I would say so,
but not most, and that makes me happy. But it is, I'd say it's their second most overlooked picture.
What's the first one for you?
Slam and Salmon.
Okay.
And that's if you even include Puddle Cruiser, because most people didn't even know Puddle Cruiser was a movie. Like
that was their
before,
first
Super
one,
Troopers
right?
came out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
So, but like, I would have to say Slam and Salmon's probably the most underrated. And then this, like, but more people know about this one, I think. This one seems to be more of a cult classic to me.
Yeah. Now, how would you rate this as like a slasher movie? Would you call this a pretty good slasher movie, or how did you feel in the grand context of everything? Like, it is a horror comedy with a slasher element to it, so it's like. And I know next week we're going to be probably talking about the same thing with Happy Death Day a little bit. That'll be my first time watching that one.
Cool. Me too. So I think this is a fairly decent slasher film. As far as the 90s were concerned, this was violent as hell.
This is 2004.
I know. But if you think about what we just had in the 90s, this was great.
This was what it felt like a return to form of like, okay, this is a little bit better.
This felt a little bit more like Friday the 13th at the beginning, where you're
a little
seeing
Halloweenish,
yeah, the killer's point of view, really neat shots, and the violence was shown, but the gore was
sometimes
was more,
implied, sometimes shown.
Yes, and less was more. Like they did a lot more with less in this movie, I think, with violence, and they made it work. It was scary. It was suspenseful. It worked for me as a slasher picture. But then, of course, the next moment, they're talking about licking a dude's titties and shit like that. And you're just like, oh, okay. And it's what it is they'll take you from the dark horrific and then just immediately drop you randomly into something that seems so normal that's perverted.
I think I look at it as it's a good way to keep you on your toes and keep you moving along through the movie without dwelling whereas with some movies you want room to breathe for some scenes, they allow room to breathe for these scenes, and then they move right on to the next thing the second they feel like, okay, you had enough time to absorb that scene, time to move on. And
Yeah.
I think part of their editing crux that they fell on was sharp drop, let's move, sharp drop, let's move. But
Well, that's
you at
what I
least
mean. The
got the impact of
transition.
all the scenes. Yeah. So the transitions always worked out very well.
Yes. And I think what works out well for the transition is it's always one polar opposite end of the spectrum to the next. So you're going from anxiety to hilarity, and it's a very quick drop from one to the next. And it's jarring to your senses in a really, really happy way. Like your endorphins are going fucking nuts during this movie.
And then
Like,
you get boobies, and then you get them cracking jokes at each other, and then all of a sudden somebody's dead, and then let's start the cycle back on over again.
yeah. Like it's a really great series of funny events throughout this picture. And it's like, I love this. It was really, really smart.
Well, and I like the mystery. Like they basically tell you right away who the killer is, but at the same time, it's like, okay, they ain't gonna be that stupid to make that guy the killer. Like it's way too obvious. The red herring is like, oh wait, it was the red herring. It actually is him. And they play with that. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like he was the only other person that was in the maze. We knew that.
It made sense. Who was the only, there was only maybe two people it could have been the entire time. And that was the appropriate way to go.
Yep. And it was just great. Everybody played their goddamn parts so friggin' well. And again, the transition, when I say everybody, let's talk about Eric specifically, going from Sam
He's
the Fun
fantastic.
Police to Machete Sam was really cool. Like he just dropped at the dime or at the drop of a hat, and
he hit that switch,
amazing.
Baby.
Yeah. Well done. Well, goddamn.
I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of this entire crew, but I think Eric was like, man, I could see more for this guy in the future if he really wanted it or if Hollywood allow it.
Definitely follow him on Facebook. I've followed him for the last several years, and he's fucking hysterical.
Seems like a decent dude all the way around. Like almost all of them seem like pretty okay people. So
I really think they are. And I do. I follow them all on Facebook and Instagram, and they're the coolest. And they're not the types of people that you're going to hear about in the tabloids having done or said some terrible, horrible shit. They're just legitimately good people.
Yeah.
At least that we're aware of.
Thank you, Hollywood, for doing that to everybody.
Right.
Now, is there anything else good about Club Dread, Kevin?
Oh, gosh. No, I don't think so. I think we've covered all the good without repeating.
Well, what about the not so good, Kevin? Let's talk about the bad.
The bad. For me, the only bad at the time, again, was having the expectation of Super Troopers, thinking that Jay was the main character, that Soder was going to be more of a main character, and they were not. This time Heffernan was the main character, and I didn't get it at first, but again, that's not a problem. That does not make this movie bad. It's only if this is the second time you've ever seen this group before and you don't understand.
Good point.
But otherwise, I don't really have anything that's bad about this movie. I really like it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got everything I love.
See, that's where I might disagree a little bit. I feel like the middle section of this movie does drag a little bit. And I feel like they could have, and granted, while I probably watched I did watch like the unrated cut. I probably should have watched the theatrical version because I think those 10 minutes being cut out might have helped a little bit better. But watching the extended or director's cut, that middle section was a little slow at times. There were things you could have cut out, no problem. Especially the oven into the pool scene, so to speak, and everybody's running off. Oh, hey, can I go swimming while the psycho killer's running around? Like, what are we doing here? So there's
Yeah.
some nonsensical decisions made at times, and it's like if you would have cut that out, you could have tightened it up a little bit better. I think it would have worked a lot better. I'm just saying the middle section gets slow if you're watching the director's cut.
I could see that. And that's probably again why those edits were made. But that's part of what we talked about, of it having to flip-flop back and forth between really funny and really anxiety, or really action-packed. They have to do certain tropes in order to make it a parody, of course. And so you've got the swimming by yourself, so it's parodying Jason in a way. The throwing the TV in the pool. Was that Stepfather, or one of the Stepfathers?
I want to say maybe it was Stepfather. Yeah,
it sounds very familiar. But anyway, it's
also available on the Hub. You're welcome, everybody.
Giggity. No, I don't have much bad for this. I don't. Everybody played a really great part for me. Sometimes I wish I could see some of the other girls that worked really well in this continue on and say Beer Fest with them, or Super Troopers 2. But they are not part of the group, and that's just the way it is. But they did work really, really well with this cast, these other cast of actors.
Yes, they did. And Bill Paxton really shines in this as well. Yeah, I mean, beyond, like, if you're watching the extended / director's cut, it just gets a little slow in the middle. I'm sure the theatrical plays out a little bit better. So
they had to keep all those in, and then they're like, you know what, this doesn't work. You know what, this doesn't work. Fuck it. Yeah, I guess
as long as they kept all the good boobs in there, that's all that really matters.
I don't know if they did or not, though. Like,
that might have been something they had cut out too. So I was appreciating the fact that I got to see all of that.
Right. I will not complain.
Misogyny rules, baby. Hey, it's nice to see hot chicks running around and not being stupid. So I didn't have a complaint about Penelope or like Kelly or any of them. None of them. I mean, while at times they put themselves in dumb situations, they didn't actually act stupid specifically. So it was like a little give and take with every situation they got themselves in.
No, all the ladies were quite likable. Like, you really wanted each and any one of them to be the final girl.
Well,
and it was
Brittany as freaking Jenny was like, oh man.
Goodness gracious. So very, very cute. And of course, Penelope as well. You wanted her to live because, God, she had the story of just wanting to live. She just wanted to live.
And that would be Jordan Ladd, everybody. She is known also for Cabin Fever, Embrace of the Vampire, and Death Proof.
Death
Quentin
Proof.
Tarantino's Death Proof.
I wish I liked that movie. I didn't. It was okay.
I like it and I don't like it at the same time. I have issues with that movie. Planet Terror, on the other hand, is awesome.
Fuck yeah. Planet Terror.
I love Kurt Russell, so that's kind of a hard movie for me to watch sometimes. I felt like he was not used to his potential in that.
No. Let's not have him pretend to be Snake in a homicidal car. Like, it's, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, bad. I'm trying to think of bad things about this movie, and I feel
all the special effects were really good. Like, the music was solid, the score was outstanding, kept the whole movie flowing. Like, honestly, my only problem is like I said, the unrated cuts is a little bit of a slog in the middle. That's about all I got.
The only other thing that I would complain about then, in hindsight, not about the picture, but about the picture in general, is they didn't market this very well.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
marketing was absolute trash. But this was
it,
also Fox Searchlight. This happened to all of their freaking movies, including like Napoleon Dynamite and
I
the original
know
Super Troopers. I know they somehow made money on those, but once they hit a certain point with some of these other movies, it's like
it was word of
it
mouth.
just coasted, man.
Yeah, yeah, but they could have made a better trailer for this,
Yeah.
and they could have put it out in better markets, put it out with better movies coming out. Like, I don't know, like there was a little bit of wasted potential in the marketing market for me in this, because this is a great movie. If more people saw this, if more people gave it a chance, like, it's super fun. I don't know why the rating is so low. It's barely above the point of giving it entertainment value. And I'm like, really though? No, not
Well,
at
yeah,
all.
when we get to our scores, I'm going to be like, I do not agree with their scores.
No. And it's hard to rate comedy. Like, people are so fickle with comedy anymore. And I'm glad that we're Gen X, because we grew up with analog and digital. We've got PC and on PC. So I mean,
true.
it is offensive. It's still offensive, and I like that. I lost my train of thought. I 0-pointed when I got to we're good with the good and the bad. What was I talking about?
I don't remember.
All right, take it away, Johnny.
Take it away, Johnny. Yeah, so it's got a place in its stature amongst slasher movies, and I appreciate where it was going and what it did and what they accomplished, and it definitely felt like an honest tribute to the slasher genre, as opposed to dying is easy, comedy is hard, Kevin.
That's what I was saying. Comedy.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Our own moderator 0 points us on our own damn review channel.
Somebody has to. Jesus.
Yeah, because you won't do it.
Anyway, if more people saw this, if more people gave it a chance to laugh in spite of the violence and the nudity, this is a great picture. And to cap off what I was saying before, what we'd started saying before, when Naked Gun came out and cracked the box office, Disney immediately saw that and went, what do we have?
More of that.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to get with Super Troopers 3, I think. And
I think so.
Really excited if Disney's finally going to give them the respect that they're due, because fuck, these guys are amazing.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm going to be upset and nasty tweeting if not.
Damn straight, brothers. But in the UK, we might get arrested, so we don't go over to the UK then.
Justice for Jay.
Justice for Jay.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, let's hit that final judgment for Club Dread.
All right.
Hey, there's your half star right there. And the leg's still kicking at the very end of the movie, trying to chase down the boat. I was like, oh my God. It's like somebody saw like Star Wars episode like 1, and they're like, okay, Darth Maul, we got you covered on this one.
This is a movie that doesn't take itself seriously, but took the horror seriously.
Yes.
And it's fucking awesome. It's so absurd, but still works as a horror film.
Yes, it does.
And, you know, there are things in horror films where you have elements of supernatural that make it absurd and it still works. But this is the slasher. There's no supernatural element to it. There's no, oh, is he a zombie? Like it's once we got to a certain point with Friday the 13th, all right, this is a monster movie. It's not a slasher movie. But no, this maintains being a slasher movie, and it gets absurded, and it just makes it wonderful. And I absolutely adore it. Absurded.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. It's a new word. But the him chucking the torso fucking killed me every time. It's so wrong.
Oh my god, I know, right? Especially it's when spinning the camera around like he was actually like holding on to him.
Yeah, it's so ableist and wrong. It's fucked up because you're laughing. But you're laughing at a handicapped person at that point.
He's half of a man. How
Yeah.
dare you, Kevin?
I know.
Jeez. I bet you park in the handicap stalls every time.
You know what? I like to stretch my feet when I take a shit. So yes, I do.
That wasn't the parking stall I was referring to, but understood. Most people use the handicap stall in the bathrooms for sexual purposes. I know that's where you conduct your business most of the time.
Now I want to go listen to George Michael. Fuck off.
No, but as far as Final Judgment goes for me, this is a good, fun slasher movie. You can get just about everything you want out of it. At times, I know it might get a little too comedic for some people, but I think that gives the movie a little bit more legs for as far as rewatchability and being able to get attached to some of the characters. They're all relatable. There's no one you actually like specifically hate this whole movie until the very end of the movie when they want you to hate somebody. And then they give you your proper villain, and all of your favorites have probably died by then. So this is a very, very solid movie for me. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's to add to what you were saying, I think adding the comedy to the good slasher movie makes this a singular picture. It's not scary movie. It's not slapstick.
Well, it reminded me of like Heart's Eyes and like Tremors, like House and House 2. I mean, all of these are very different movies that have horror comedy to them. But like, this is that kind of blend in a slasher movie that is just like, this is refreshing. This actually works.
Yeah. And it's gonna have rewatchability. It's gonna be, well, this isn't necessarily gonna be able to be one for the kids. No. But it's gonna be one you're gonna remember. You're gonna want to collect it. You're gonna turn it on and sit and watch it. If it's on TV, you're gonna stop and watch.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 8.5 for me. I really, really like this picture.
Hey, absolutely nothing wrong with that kind of score. It does not warrant the score it gets from like most at like the 5 or whatever you're going to see anywhere else. Like, give this movie a chance on your own to watch it. You'll appreciate it. Now, I don't remember correctly, but there might be a version on YouTube that's broken up into parts, but I'm going to double check on that really quick. I know you can rent the movie for, how much is that going to be for?
$3.99 on Amazon.
And it looks like about the same price on $3.79 on YouTube as well.
Oh, okay.
And that's if you want to rent. If you want to purchase the license, the lease license to it, it's $10. But for $3.79, I'd recommend watching this. So
sure. It's most certainly worth your time. And if you see it in like the $5 bin at Walmart, pick that shit up.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a DVD. There is no Blu-ray of this, and there absolutely should be.
Yeah. So that'd be the other downside. Because this is a really pretty movie. There's boobies.
There's boobs. There's fun. It's just overall good characters. I like it. And if you liked Beer Fest, you like Super Troopers, and you like your horror movies, why haven't you checked this one out yet? Come on.
Yep. And the Slammin' Salmon.
And the Slammin' Salmon, baby.
Whatever, motherfucker!
Yeah.
People know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Maybe.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Just maybe, Kevin. Well, maybe, Kevin, we should tell people where they can find us, well, where they can find you at, and anything you got coming up next.
Oh, golly. Well, you said we're working on Happy Death Day next.
Yep.
That sounds about right. And
That's
then I wanna
Groundhog Day in horror movie form.
Yeah, I'm kind of cool for that because I haven't seen it. I want to see
Same.
it. I heard good things about Happy Death Day 1 and 2.
Correct. Same here.
So of course you could see me here with Jeffrey every Tuesday night on 0 Point Reviews. I'm not with Jeff on Thursday nights on the Stargate Files. I apologize. I have my levels of where I cap out on nerdom.
Pussy.
Right. You can catch us every other Friday night on Nostalgia TV, the graveyard shift of forgotten television, and of course every Saturday night on Deadwire live stream.
Right on. And we will announce a schedule coming up by the end of the week for what we got coming this month. We're still sorting out a few things, but we are setting up some streams for Stargate Files and 0 Point Reviews. So happy Death Day. We got Scream and Scary Movie coming up. And at the end of the month, we have a special surprise slasher movie we are not telling you about until the week before. So we hope you all appreciate that we're going to do a little fun one with that. And we also might have a guest or two on with us at the same time. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please do us a favor, do us a solid, hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe down below, hit the bell notification, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Not right now.
A girl's gotta have her standards.